Good morning, all. How are we doing? Morning, machinists. Fabio, Neo, Hank, Sammy. Morning, morning. It's Tuesday. Feels really weird. It's Monday for me. Bank holidays really throw it out. I'm gonna have another day off this week as well, unfortunately. Thursday or Friday, I'm off to a theme park. So, uh, last week of the school holidays. Yay! So yeah, I'm gonna take the kids off to do something somewhere. So I'll let you know when. I don't know when yet because it depends. We need to get a dog looked after. So, but I'll let you know about that. Right. So obviously yesterday I wasn't here. There was quite a bit of movement yesterday, actually, more than normal on a bank holiday, which was good. But it is also the morning shout, the last couple of days of the month as well. So we get a lot of movement in the run up to the end of the month, the last few days, as the institutions are balancing their books, hitting sales targets, etc., banking profit where they can on certain positions. So we see quite a lot of movement in the run up to end of month and end of quarter. We are August, aren't we? So September, October, November, December. So it's not quarter end, but it is month end. So news wise, obviously, we had nothing much yesterday. We've got, I don't know quite why this preliminary CPI for Germany is an all day event. Not quite. They've obviously said they're going to release it today, but they haven't said when. So I'm not sure about that one, but we'll have to wait and see. So you might find the DAX and Euro has a little bit of movement on those figures at some point, but it doesn't seem like it's forecast. So morning, Stevie. We've got consumer confidence for the US dollar and the jolts this afternoon. Those two don't tend to do a massive amount either normally. So probably not a massive movement this afternoon on that. Williams is speaking, but we had a lot come out of the Jackson Hole Symposium last week. So unlikely he's going to drop any bombs today that we don't really know about. We've got CPI for the Euro tomorrow, which is hit and miss. Again, we've got non-farm employment on Wednesday. CPIs for the Swiss franc, that's going to be a biggie on Thursday. CPIs do make an impact on obviously currencies. Obviously, the inflation is the main sort of indicator as to how well everything is going against. With the rate changes basically in inflation. So when that starts to be got on top of, it's good for the currency. The Swiss franc obviously increased their rates completely unexpectedly. And hopefully that's had a positive impact. So if that's had a positive impact on the Swiss, i.e. we get decent numbers here, we should see some massive movement on the Swiss franc this week. Morning, Evil. So we'll see. Thursday could be a big day for the Swissy, and equally that could well be a big positive movement for the Euro as well. And then if the Euro increases their rates by 3/4 to 1%, which has been and ahed about, we could see a flip, Euro and Swissy becoming strong and becoming possibly the strongest currency. So we'll have to wait and see on that one though. We got ISM PMIs for manufacturing on Thursday afternoon as well. And then we've got non-farm payroll on Friday. So busy day, busy week rather. But today could be a bit of a wild card today and tomorrow as well. Difficult to know what's going to happen with those today because we don't have a timing on that CPI for Germany for some reason. I don't quite know why, but anyway. So that's today's news. Have a quick flick over last night. Gazprom to reduce gas delivery starting today. Okay, don't know whether that's planned or not. It seems to be doing a lot to gas and oil, but anyway. Building approvals down. That's not good for Aussie. Unemployment on the yen. Concerned about the possibility of energy shortages. Okay. The EU power market emergency intervention. Okay, so nothing particularly exciting overnight. So I'll just do a quick recap to start off with on positions that I had on, because obviously I didn't do a recap on what I did Friday. So on the funded account evaluation, I'm down to 1.49% in drawdown. I banked 0.81% yesterday. I banked 1% on Friday. Morning, Themba. Morning, Diamo. So that loss that I took trying to do the aggressive drawdown control on whatever it was I was trying to do aggressive drawdown control on is all recovered and a bit. So back up to 7%. I'm 2.5% away from pass, and I've got 9 days left on the evaluation. So I'm toying with the idea of scalping the DAX to try and get a quick 1% in. But I'm not 100% sure what I want to do, so I'm going to have a quick think about it this morning. So everything's going okay. I took a US dollar yen yesterday up here. The US dollar yen was massively extended yesterday. Considering it's bank holiday yesterday, we got a big extension on the US dollar yen, which hit before London. So this was an ADR hit yesterday morning. All the way up there. So ADR on this is 137. We got to 144. So as soon as this bearish engulfing went in on M15, I took an entry there. I think it was an M5 reversal of that. Can't remember. Yeah, it was here. So I took that reversal alert there. And it pulled down, pushed back up again. It's pulled down this morning. It's just very, very extended. And the thing I like about this, if you go on to M15, this is a lovely propulsion gap here to aim for. So this is kind of the overnight shenanigans. We had this accumulation towards the end of New York, and then we had this big push up as soon as Asia opened, leaving this big propulsion gap there. So I get the feeling we're going to target that, which is where I've got my TP set. So I put in a slightly larger than normal, not massive, but a slightly larger than normal position on this one yesterday with a hope of that dropping down. Didn't happen yesterday, so hopefully that will go down today. I've got a DAX on, which is just a normal position trading DAX. Pound New Zealand is pretty much at break even. I've got 2 positions on that one, and Swiss yen, I've got loads on Swiss yen, still 1.3. So that's the main thing I've got to sort out. I haven't got the EA running on anything else. So the EA is literally just running on those 3. And it's flat on everything else because I'm so close to target. I just want to sort these out basically. So if I can get this to 1% today in any shape or form, that's going over there and that's passed. So we'll see. Morning, Sammy. If I haven't said already this morning. So I won't go through all the trades I banked, but Friday was the 26th, right? So there's a lot of them basically. Going back to the 26th, so all the way back to here. That was the overnight Aussie Swiss. Yeah, it's the Aussie Swiss I was doing the aggressive drawdown control and stuff on, wasn't it? So yeah, so just bank stuff and put it in the bank. Turned off the EAs in preparation for hopefully just passing that one. But I'll see if I get close today. I'm gonna get a good setup on a DAX. Just open. Let's just watch this for a minute and just see what happens to the DAX this morning. Yeah, it's been pulling back nicely. It's ready for a drop. We're half an ADR away from this level here, which is potentially a good area we might tap into and drop. Equally, it could just go at the open this morning. we will see. Okay, I won't watch that now. On main account, banked 1.95% yesterday, did 1.4 on Friday. Majority of that is on oil. So you see them all on there already. So banked all this oil yesterday. We had a big push up oil, really big push yesterday. Obviously not affected by bank holiday commodities, just they do what they want. So yeah, really nice push on that. I've still got one open, which I'm holding at the moment, which is about 0.2%. So I'm not going to bank that. And looking for a bit more of a push today, hopefully on oil. The other things I've got on are US dollar Swiss, which I've got short at the moment. Really big strong push up there. You see I've taken quite a bit of profit on these drops here. I did a little bit of drawdown control on it as well. We took out highs. I've got a position in profit at the moment, but looking for some kind of pullback into here. Obviously, the main news event we've got this week for the Swiss franc is on Thursday. So I'm happy to hold this into a little bit more drawdown ahead of Thursday, anticipating some strength on the Swiss franc on Thursday, which will hopefully get this one back down into profit. And obviously the US dollar isn't particularly strong at the moment, so hopefully that one will come down shortly. Euro New Zealand I've got short as well. That's starting to come down this morning. I've got a position on there in profit as well. So yeah, that's all I've got on at the moment. Not a lot of exposure, but not too bad. So yeah, so banked quite a bit there. Aussie CAD is what I banked a load of profit on last Friday. Or was it yesterday? Yeah, no, banked one on that yesterday. Two, I thought I banked on that. Where's the other position then? Anyway, yeah, so that's all banked and flat now, Aussie CAD and pound Swiss as well. Got that one out on Friday. So that's it. So that's where I am at the minute. I'm going to do an analysis of all the pairs. The ADR dash, RSI dash rather, just to update you on what's going on with that. I've just updated mine so that I have hourly and 4 hourly on the same dashboard. Just thought it's more convenient. Don't know why I haven't thought of doing it before, but I have. So the left columns here, as you can see, are the 4 hours from 70 to 80. And on the right here, I have the 1 hours from 70 to 80. So I've got one dashboard now, alerting me when things get between, extended to very extended, rather than having the two dashboards. Just makes sense. I don't know why I've not done it before, but I have. So yeah, so the only thing we've got extended at the moment is euro pound. That looks like it's just rolling over on the 4 hour. So that's nice extend on the 4 hour. That's rolling over this morning. Missed that if you didn't get into it a minute ago. It's really coming down this morning. Is that euro coming down? No, that's pound strength. Right, looks of things. What? Ooh, not sure what that is. Euro pound. But yeah, anyway, euro pound's coming down hard this morning. That was massively extended on the 4 hour. Again, it's that 53 ADR pair. Not very nice to trade. Just takes forever to move. So although that's come down lovely this morning, you'll probably find it'll end up doing that for a week and then it will do that. So not really interested in euro pound as a short. Anything else as a short on euro is fine. Aussie New Zealand taking a rocket again, is it? Yeah. Big moves on the Aussie dollar this morning. That's a lot of Aussie dollar strength coming through this morning. So you find everything against the Aussie is coming down. Nicely this morning. So Just really toying with the idea of taking a short on the DAX. Scalp morning. Just kind of watching it out. I've got it running on another monitor, which I'm just kind of watching on 1 minute. It does look heavy this morning. 290. Oh, I risk 0.25%. Right? Morning, Trevor. I'm just contemplating the idea of taking a short in the DAX, just trying to get a little bit of extra chipping away at this. What's happening in the Swiss yen this morning? That's coming down nicely this morning as well. I might not need to. I've got a feeling today this might all just start to unravel and play out. But if we've got strong Aussies this morning, we're quite possibly going to have strong yen movement as well. In which case, this US dollar yen is going to come down hard, and so will the Swissy. So it might just all get to 1% on its own without me intervening. But I do like this short. You'll leave it for the minute. Right. So let's do a quick analysis of what's going on at the moment. So RSI's covered. There's nothing on the 4 hours apart from the euro pound. There's nothing on the hourlies there's nothing on the hourlies at all. ADRs, nothing's hit. There's nothing hit on the weeklies yet so far. So nothing is extended basically at the moment. We had, obviously it was bank holiday yesterday. We had a fair bit of movement, but not a massive amount of direction on a lot of stuff. So everything's kind of flattening out. So it's just a case of looking at the charts and seeing what is setting up that we might be able to get into this week. So nothing to look at there. Nothing to look at there. And I keep getting drawn back to the DAX. So we have just rejected these lows. It's a fairly big opening range this morning. That's probably worth a shot underneath there. Got a wiki, isn't it? Okay, just going to put one sell scalp short on the DAX. Wait for this wickiness to finish at the open. Didn't trade yet, so that's not going to move. Okay, keep an eye on that. Actually, what I'm going to do is going to put a sell stop underneath that low, and I'm going to put a stop above this high. See if we can get this double top holding, and then a sustained move to the downside after this double top. If it goes, if it doesn't go, obviously it doesn't matter, does it? So see what happens. Sammy, I was hoping it did something. It did, but it went the other way. Are you talking about Aussie New Zealand? Yeah. It's not playing ball at the moment, that one, but it isn't going anywhere. You got this. If you look at the daily. Until you break that high, we're not going anywhere. So don't forget, this is the Aussie New Zealand. Yeah, so this is equivalent to the euro pound. these two move a lot in sync. So you get a push, and then you get quite often big ranges, but these ranges are like that, and then you'll get a movement which will be forced off of the news. So you're going to wait for some news. Basically, you haven't really got any news on the Aussie or on New Zealand this week, so might be a little bit slow, that one, but we'll see. Okay. Give me 1 second. Got things in the wrong place everywhere. 1 sec. DAX is pushing up at the moment, so don't think I'm going to get filled on that position. Let's see. Right, so let's have a look at everything starting at the top. Anybody got anything else they want to look at in specifics? Obviously, just let me know. Let's start off with oil and the indices. So the oil, we were looking for this bounce down at the 85 to 90 level, which held. It's pushed up. We broke the highs at 95 considerably yesterday. That was a lovely 3-bar reversal completed yesterday. So we had that lovely push down, push back up. So looking basically for these highs now, new highs to be made at some point somewhere. But no reason why we shouldn't get that continuation push happening today. So you're off to Thorpe Park or for small kids, Chesington. Yeah, we're probably going to go to Thorpe Park, I think. That's the plan anyway. My kids are 12 and 14, so the Chesington rides are a little bit meh now. They want a bit more white knuckle, which is good. Thorpe Park, because I like it. So yeah, oil looking for a good move to the upside to continue, basically. So pull back long, just keep market structure going to the upside. We've got no idea where oil is going. They're forecasting it to 150 a barrel in the next, next however long, really. But 6 months to a year, gradual grind all the way back up to there. So we'll see. It's going to take a hell of a move to get up there, but it's not going to happen overnight, obviously. So I'm looking for longs on oil, so just buying dips and continually do that until we get some kind of resolution of the Russia issue, or we get something else happening with another country that is going to intervene and help wash oil prices, which I don't think is really going to happen. So I'm just going to continually buy the dips on oil moving forward. Indices, opposite, looking for them to drop and continue to drop. So we had the next leg down, which started last week or the week before, and lovely big down day on Friday, and all the indices basically started to roll over as we expected them to. Very, very nicely as well at the trend line, which is unusual. But yeah, that's really nice drop started on all the indices. So again, looking to sell any pops on the indices. We had such a big day on Friday across the US indices. I get the feeling, which is why I was looking at the DAX pulling back, I get the feeling we will want to pull back into this area and do a little bit more buying until we get up to there, and then dump. But you never know. We quite often get these completely big flushes out of nowhere, so we could flush at any moment basically. So we will see. But I'm looking for shorts. I don't mind having a short on the DAX here. I haven't got one on this account, but on the other account, and if it pushes up, we'll be ready for the drop when the drop actually starts. 150. Get the fast tracks, and you're queuing for hours. Well, my friend went to Thorpe Park on Sunday, who I met up with yesterday, and he said it was only 40 minutes. So this is a bank holiday weekend on a Sunday in the school holidays, and it was only 40-minute queues maximum for the big rides. So I don't think I need a fast pass this time. I have done it before. I will evaluate on the day, is what I usually do. I don't mind paying an extra 100 and something quid or whatever it is to do the fast passes. $150. Isn't UK and Europe energy prices exploding already? What would 150 oil do? Yeah, not make it good, I think. But yeah, I mean, the trouble with oil is our prices are going up. With oil, oil is one of the biggest futures hedges out there. Everybody uses it. All industries use oil, so they all do futures hedges on oil. So what we're paying now in the UK, these ridiculous price rises we're getting, are on wholesale pricing they bought back here and back, when the Ukraine crisis kicked off. So we're actually always in the past. The pricing that we pay is always in the past. They keep saying, oh, well, the oil prices are coming down. Why is petrol going up? Because we're paying what was harvested back here, not what is being harvested now. There's a lot of stuff that goes into energy pricing. There's, for example, electric cars. I've got an electric car, so I'm eco-friendly. Although every piece of electricity I consume is powered by coal, because most of the electric power stations, they're coal-fired. So it doesn't matter what happens to prices right now. There's a lot more that goes into what you actually pay for electricity, pay for gas, etc. So. But it's always to do with basically supply and demand, and this Ukraine issue has really hurt the supply chain, which has been in place for an awful long time. So it's like Europe said, we can't just stop buying stuff from Russia because we will have to turn off all of our power. It's a logistical nightmare that's taken decades to put into place, and it will take years to unpick the problem. And until then, you're going to have constriction in supply. And as long as demand stays stable, prices should rise. And this was the initial issue. And what we should see is a continuation of that. But, a lot can change. This is why you've got to keep your eyes on fundamentals and, keep looking at what's going on. This sort of information to do with gas, you need to be on top of this, because this is going to impact it. And it's not hard to see what impact it has. If there's a piece of red news comes out to do with oil, and all of a sudden oil tanks, you need to think twice about your longs. So you just keep an eye on basically news. Things will change. Liquid natural gas supply from Canada is potentially coming in for Europe. That will have a big impact on pricing as well. Morning ladder. Right, so that's oil done, and obviously the indices. So indices potentially today be ready for another up day. If we get a push up towards ADR today, especially if we get an ADR hit today, then entry across the board on any of these indices. I'm not sure we would push all the way up into this candle. Whenever we get a big candle like this, as you can see here, we quite often get a 50% retracement on it before a drop. So look at this one here, for example, 50% retracement, pump. So I always look around about 50% and look around the support resistance, whichever way it's going, as a turning point. So somewhere around the 130.75 area on the DAX, if it gets up to there, that would be a good area to start looking for shorts. So somewhere around there, which is, sort of 3/4 of the way to ADR today. Right, so that's indices. Sammy, you're back. Okay, that's okay. I'll continue now. Be waiting. Let's just have a quick look what's going on. DAX, yeah, no. Cancel that pending. So we are heading up. Not going to scalp that this morning. Although we have just taken out that high. Oh, that could be a good entry. What's the size of that? Oh, cancel. I'm going to put a sell stop underneath this last candle. Stop above the high. If that's going to be a run on liquidity on the highs, and we are going to go for a downward move this session, that is likely to be the top. So fairly large position, only 0.25%. So I'll be looking for a move down towards these lows to get me out with 1%. If I can do that, hopefully I get that hit today. Keep an eye on that one. Might push up higher though, as I said, 130.75. Right, Aussies. So I'm looking for opportunities to get in. At the moment, my exposure is Euro, New Zealand, US, and Swiss. So I've just got singles on each of them. So I've got plenty of exposure available to add on at the moment. But there is nothing on the dashboards that I'm interested in. Euro pound is the only thing that's extended, and obviously there's no weeklies or dailies on the ADRs. So just going to whiz through everything this morning, just see if there's anything that I can find that is worth having a look at to get into for anything really. But as you know, I like to wait for things to get extended so that we've got a good chance of a profit take move starting. And at the moment, it's all a little bit flat. We are coming to the end of summer trading as well. So we'll hopefully see a little bit more volatility coming into the market. That tends to kick off sort of first, second week of September quite often, sometimes a little bit later in September, it all depends. But hopefully we'll get a bit more volatility coming in, so there'll be a little bit less of these big week-long ranges which we've been stuck into a few times, which haven't been bad, to be honest, have they? All these ranges that we get stuck in, that we keep taking profit off, adding it, taking it off, adding it, taking it off. Yeah, I mean, we've milked them quite nicely. So it's not been a bad summer trading, but actually it's been my best ever summer trading this year. Absolutely huge compared to normal months, which is lovely. So Aussie CAD, nothing much there. It's sideways at the minute. We're stuck within this range at the moment. That's kind of where the range is at the minute, somewhere around here, which is this sort of little bit of balance that we had previously. We had price discovery, went back into balance, tried again, went back into balance. It does look like it wants to kick higher, mainly off the back of the Canadian dollar being a little bit weaker on oil pricing, but that seems to be changing. So we may well get this starting to drop a little bit more now, so we get some Canadian dollar strength coming through. News-wise this week, we haven't got anything on the Aussie pairs at all. We have got CAD GDP, which is forecast to be, a 0.1% difference. Unlikely that will come out on any figure that is going to make it dramatically different. So there's not really any news catalysts at all that are going to affect this one this week. And it's RSI sideways, price is sideways, just not interested in it at all at the minute. Oops, Aussie dollar Swiss, same sort of thing. Aussie dollar Swiss, it's just a mess. We have got Swiss franc news this week, so we've got the CPI figures for the Swissy. Could go either way. Likely, I think, will be good for the Swissy. So since we had the rate increase, the unexpected rate increase, which powered up the Swissy massively for a week or so, we haven't really gone anywhere. on a lot of the Swiss franc pairs. I suspect that increase has helped get on top of inflation, and if that is the case, that will be good for the Swiss franc. So we will see what happens with it. Obviously, it could go either way. If it goes the other way, we're coming back up into here somewhere. So, you know, it's a classic range breakout this week. Don't know which way it's going to go, but it's going to break one way or the other. At the moment, it's pushing up towards the highs, so it's difficult to tell. But fundamentally, you would expect that to have had a positive impact. Therefore, we should get a continuation short on it. Think of this like a massive flag, but it's just a really weird flat flag. So we'll see what happens with it. But Aussie Swiss at the moment, there's nothing you can do with it. It's just sideways. The short entry was up here last week. If you took it, played out perfectly. But apart from that, we've had nothing else on it. Yen's a mess. Just clear my chart up again. So yeah, yens basically are a bit of a mess. Aussie yen is up at the highs at the minute. These highs here have been taken out last week, and at the moment we are just sitting up at those highs again, just about to hit the top of those highs. This is Aussie dollar strength rather than yen weakness at the moment. The yen's actually not doing too bad. It wasn't. Yeah, still yen's not doing too bad this morning, but the Aussie's very strong this morning. I like it as a long. I'd much rather be taking longs on this one, I think, than shorts at the moment. Still nothing coming out of Japan as to how they're going to get out of their issues. So no reason why we couldn't come and challenge those highs at some point. But it's just a very, very slow mover. So not really interested in that at the minute. With the yens at the moment, I kind of would be happy to take either way. I'm happy to take shorts and longs. I'd much rather take longs on it, but equally, it isn't going anywhere strength-wise, so I think you can trade this in either direction at the moment. So Aussie yen, if it gets extended, be good for shorts. If we come out and take this high this morning, yeah, sorry, that. What? That chart frozen. Chart's frozen. That confused me. I was like, hang on a minute. There's a high yesterday above there. When you drop down to M15, we were above it. So yeah, if we come and take this high out this morning, we get a really nice reversal starting up there. Big bearish engulfing and reversal off of that high. That might be a nice looking little short there. But again, nothing's extended at the moment. So, you know, we're not extended on the hourly. That would just be a liquidity run play short. But you can see, obviously, we are bullish on it. Ideally, we want to be longing it. But equally, you can mean revert it because it's you know, it's what it's doing. It is moving very, very nicely. So you can kind of trade it in both directions at the moment. Just not very good at the minute. Aussie New Zealand, I've just been talking about this one. Looks like a flag to me. Longs, always been longing Aussie New Zealand, and it got massively extended on the RSI. So anybody that got in short on it, yeah, it was a decent short opportunity, but it was obviously counter trend. And you know, this is what I always say: if you're trading counter trend, the risk is a lot higher because instead of getting those pullbacks, you know, we also get flags and breaks. So this could be flagging. It didn't get down. The thing you got going for you at the moment on this one is it didn't get down to support on its pullback. So we have got an opportunity for it to pull back into the support rectangle, pull back into 125 ADR potentially. So if it gets down to here, you're either going to get that bounce or you're potentially going to break and come back down to one of these levels and back down into the 24, that's where I'm interested. I want to get in here and I'll buy it, which is what we've been saying all along. I want to be buying the lows on this. There's absolutely no reason to short this. Unless it gets massively extended, obviously, then yeah, you have got a mean reversion trade. But the danger with counter trend mean reversion is obviously the flag, which is what potentially you have playing out here. All you can do is get in aggressive at ADR and hope that we get an accumulation continue, and then you can get out down here. So Aussie New Zealand, Aussie dollar, US dollar. Tricky. I like this as a short based on US dollar strength, but I'm not convinced we are going to get any US dollar strength. I'm interested to see what happens this week on non-farm payroll as an indication for what the US dollar is doing. Non-farm, we know, is a big manipulation event. It's not something that fundamentally affects anything, but the market does use it to make moves. So if we get a non-farm payroll that gives us a clear direction this week, whether it be positive or negative, I think that's kind of the direction we want to be looking moving forward. So I'm kind of waiting to see what they make of the US dollar, because I think what we're going to get on non-farm this week is we're either going to get a liquidity run and then shoot, or we're going to break in one direction or the other. We've been fairly sideways with a lot of the US dollar stuff. I think we're going to get a good push in one direction or the other, and I'd like to see it sort of hold. I don't care which way it goes. I just want to get some clear direction on the US dollar, because at the moment it's very difficult to tell which way to go with it. And I think at the moment the US dollar is a little bit like the yen in the fact that you could take it in either direction. It's not got any real strength. So when it gets extended, just take the extension. Ideally try and stay in line with trend if you see one. But I mean, things like the Aussie New Zealand, it has been in a downtrend, but we had this peak formation low put in, and since then we're really range bound. So you can kind of take it in either direction at the moment. I'd be much more inclined to take shorts than longs. Your entries were here, sort of there, but it's a bit of a mess at the minute. So again, not much opportunity there on Aussie US. CAD Swiss, sideways mess. Same as all the other Swissies. Rate announcement. Waiting on the Swiss franc for some kind of indication of where it's going to be going on the news this week. Just taking out the highs on this one. Geez, we are taking out the highs on this one. Is that weak Swiss franc? Yeah. Hugely weak Swiss franc this morning. That's not helpful. Yeah, weak Swiss franc at the moment, but that doesn't mean that that's going to stay that way. So we might get some liquidity runs here and very fast reversals. So keep your eyes on these. There you go, Aussie Swiss, just hit ADR. Why have I got no sound? My sound's been playing up. So this first ADR hit the day. You're not going to get an M5 reversal alert on that. So we just had some news. I bet that was the German CPI. No, not German CPI either. Just big Swiss moves. So yeah, you got Aussie Swiss. You got potential ADR hit there. Aussie Swiss, watch for those highs. 125 ADR. So if we get 125 ADR today, that might be a nice little opportunity for a short. CAD Swiss, we are at that at the moment, that level. Next level up from there is just above 125 as well. So if we get a continuation push up into the 125s, 150s on any of these Swiss pairs today, nice reversions, mean reversion opportunities. We've got news catalyst coming, which could well do that to the Swiss franc. So they could be basically enticing longs at the moment, getting all those stops in on everybody's longs so that they can reverse it on Thursday. in the morning. So don't be enticed into the longs on it just in case. So yeah, lots of stop liquidity runs potentially going on at the moment on the Swiss franc pairs. CAD yen, yeah, so CAD Swiss obviously. I like, this is a tricky one because I think we're going to get some strength on the Canadian dollar if oil continues to move. We've got potential more strength coming on the Canadian dollar based on liquid natural gas exports to Europe. And the Swiss franc, basically, if they get on top of inflation off the back of that rate announcement, we could see a big Swissy move. So this one's a really hard one to pick a direction on, as you can see, which is why we're sideways. But that could well change on Thursday. So it's a hard one to trade at the moment. I'd be more inclined to look at shorts than longs at the moment on anything Swissy against the Swiss franc. So, but we're not extended on anything. So we will be if it carries on like this. And obviously any ADR hits to the upside, potentially good shorts. When they get to levels though, make sure you're getting a level taken out. CAD yen, again, more inclined to long this. This is my favorite pair. The Swiss franc, Swissy yen and the CAD yen are my favorites for longs against the yen at the moment. And I'm happy to long the Aussie or the New Zealand yen as well if it gets any pullbacks, but as you can see we haven't had one for ages on this one, so no opportunities. I'm looking for that kind of movement. So any pullbacks into the 24 will be interested in taking. Anything in the 24.72 area, interested in longs on that, but not at the moment. Swiss yen, same thing. So this is getting down there. This could get down to 24. If this comes down and takes this liquidity at the lows, that'd be a lovely long opportunity. Just come out of extension on the 4 hour. Did we take that? Yeah. So we're just taking all that liquidity short and they're running with it. So enticing everybody to come in short and then Thursday pump it. So we could well just get a pullback down to here, take that liquidity and then run. So yeah, I like that for longs. If we can get down to here, any ADR hits to the downside on this, I'd much rather get it down below the 24 or on the 24 if we can, just to get that bounce up there. You've got a lot of people which are watching the 20 on the daily as well. You know, I'm using the 24, but 20, 24, it's all roughly the same area. There'll be a lot of people watching for pullbacks on this so long, so you know the self-fulfilling prophecy kicks in. But yeah, really like that is a long, but not at the moment. Euro's all shorts still until we get otherwise. So I'm short on Euro New Zealand, Euro odd, same thing basically. So take one or the other, not both on those. Oil's moving nicely this morning. Let's put TP on this in case I'm not watching. Becoming difficult to find a potential area this is going to hit. Well, we'll just go for ADR, I guess. So yeah, just put a TP on that one. So Swiss yen we've covered, haven't we? So yeah, euros. So euros short until we hear some confirmation of what they're going to do. Trevor, have you looked at Euro Swiss yet? No, not yet. I'm just doing the euros now. So yeah, euros. We're still short the euro. There's two things that are going to happen. Two things that are happening at the moment with the eurozone. We've got a lot of rumours, and they came out of Jackson Hole as well, as to potentially the eurozone doing a larger increase on the interest rates than 0.25s and 0.5s, which is what they've been looking at. So they're looking at 0.75s and 1% increases. If that happens, that will be seen by the market as the Eurozone doing something positive to get on top of inflation, and we should see some strength. The Swiss franc, if it's deemed that Swiss franc move off of the interest rate increase that we weren't expected, which had a big positive impact, if that has had a positive impact on inflation, then Swiss franc will push. Swiss franc and the euro move together a lot. So we will find that we could potentially get a boost off the back of the Swiss franc news. And then if we do get more rumours building about this euro increase, we could see some strength starting to come through. At the moment, however, it's still a short. So, until you get confirmation that the euro is actually going to do something positive, it is just a rumour at the moment. It's nothing guaranteed. So I'm still looking for shorts on it. Good opportunity there on Euro Odd. Obviously, I took the Euro New Zealand version, which is just starting to push at the moment. But we could see this sort of movement starting. And if that's the case, obviously, then we need to start thinking about changing our mind on directional bias on the euro. But at the moment, I'm fully expecting us to get somewhere around the 24 and then to get a continuation move to the downside at the moment. Right now, it's not extended. So if it does push any higher and this move doesn't play out, then we could be taking out these highs and moving up into anywhere around there, really. Potential short opportunities. So one to watch this week. If we get some pushes to the upside, could be some good short opportunities coming in there. Same with the Euro CAD. Canadian dollar hasn't been as strong as it should have been. Euro is taking advantage of that at the moment. Look at this area that we're coming up into now. We've got chop after chop after chop after resistance coming up. There's a lot of levels here that the Euro CAD is going to get stuck at. We've got to batter through all of this chop to get higher. Everybody in here that's been selling the hell out of it, and when I say everybody, I mean in the institutions and the banks that have been shorting Euro CAD and short hedges on, they still got those positions on. So when we get into these areas, there'll be banks wanting to continue their shorts and there'll be a lot of selling pressure. So to actually get that reversed is going to be quite hard work. And it's going to take something pretty hefty to do it, like a rate change. So until that happens, we're short and expecting some kind of pull up into the 24, maybe even an accumulation, and then a drop from there. So any extensions to the upside, any ADR hits to the upside, potentially good short opportunities on the Euro CAD. Canadian dollar and oil strong. No reason why that should change until we get some fundamental shift that says, yeah, that is going to change. Euro Swiss, same thing. Euro Swiss is the short of the century. It's pushing up nicely at the moment. So this is, if you look at where we are now, since the Swiss franc rate announcement, which was back in June, this is the first time we've ventured above the 24 moving average. So this is the strongest the euro has been since June. And we have got fundamental news potentially. There we go. That's about that for timing. Euro Swiss ADR high. So we've got fundamental news coming out on Thursday for the Swiss franc. Pound Swiss as well, so massive weakness on the Swiss franc this morning. So potentially we got some decent opportunities coming up levels wise for the Swiss franc. That's a hell of a move. 200 ADR. If we get 200 ADR, I'm coming in that short today. Just check. It's nothing yet. So yeah, like this is a short. So we're about to get extended on the 4 hour. We're about to get extended again on the hourly. That's a mental move. Look at that. But there'll be a good fade opportunity on it. Doesn't mean it's going to come all the way back down to here, or even potentially down to support. But yeah, you'll get a good fade off of that. So it depends when you want to get in. So you're looking for signs of weakness. You're not going to get any M5 reversal alerts on it. So you're going to have to go with price action. Because you just, by the time you get the reversal alert, you've missed it. It's done on ADR. So you need to wait for price action on this. So bearish engulfing is your first opportunity to get in, or any kind of shooting star that you see, or any kind of M pattern. Yeah, reversal alert obviously is showing you when you're getting M's and W's forming, but price will push up, it will pull back down, it will push up, it will pull back down, it will push up, it will pull back down, then it will break that low. In there you will have an M, and that is your short opportunity. Targets, obviously yesterday's high is primary target. If you look at this on a higher time frame though, like on M15, there's your propulsion gap out of the accumulation. So anywhere in there really. If this move is going to continue, you're going to expect to see buy limit orders sitting in there waiting to go. So mean reversion, shooting star forming on M15 at the moment. You're only 1 minute into this candle, so don't take that yet. Yeah, so Euro Swiss looks good for a short opportunity. It's very, very orderly, this market structure though. Look. First time we've had some, nice W held, reverse alert, the retest, and then the market structure on its textbook. So if you're going to mean revert it, don't get greedy in case it's going to continue. But don't forget we're on Tuesday. So we've got today, we've got Wednesday, and then Thursday morning early, the news comes out. So you've only got a day and a half of trading on this before we get to that news. And that is potentially what could power the Swissy up. Equally though, obviously it can go the other way. This could come out really bad, and the rate increase they've done has had no impact whatsoever, and it's all gone wrong for the Swissy. So, news goes both ways, don't forget. But yeah, I like it as a short still. So good opportunity to get in south there. Quite difficult to get into though. You need to get in fairly quick on that one. I've got US dollar Swiss on short already at the moment, so I'm just going to manage this one. This is in 1% drawdown, so I'm not going to add another Swissy on at the moment because I've got a fair bit of exposure long on Swissy. So I'm not going to take that myself, but you got 2 minutes left on this candle. It's a lovely shooting star forming up there. And you've got, if this doesn't work, this shooting star, and you don't get a decent trade out of that, you've got one ADR move to the upside, obviously there, to add in a couple of positions before you get that fade. So it's a good looking short opportunity there. Might just come down from there. We will see. EG entry levels, if you take short and it continues long, euro pound, conveniently. Well, obvious entries are going to be up at 125 ADR on that. I mean, where we are right now, isn't a bad area. We've had a few reactions around here before, which is where we are reacting at the moment, but it's I don't like these big, when you get these big spikes, these are more liquidity runs, and it's the speed of this move. The vast majority of the players that shorted this will be out of this, so you find there's not a lot of liquidity up there. A lot of people will be watching that for a double top. So you will get a reaction off of there, but whether it's enough to pull it down particularly hard, you're never going to know until it obviously plays out. If that doesn't force a reaction, which it should do because you're already massively extended, look. We haven't had a pullback yet on this, have we? We've had a bit of a spike down, but we've not had a pullback on this yet. So if this continues up to there, it's kind of massively stretched, isn't it? So we're extended above 4-hour RSI, and we're going to put in an M pattern formation up there. Likely to get divergence on that as well. If you look at this, if this pushes up to there, price is going to be moving up. Your RSI is going to come up in level, so you're going to have divergence forming on the RSI as well, which is bearish, at a point where you're going to find limit orders triggering. So there, if not, you've got potentially a bit of a squeeze on your hands of another ADR. So difficult to tell in there. You just have to space your entries out nicely. But that's, looks good for a short at the moment, euro pound. But you know, it's a weak currency against a weak currency at the moment, so it's very difficult to trade with, and it's got a tiny ADR on it. It's just not a very good one for getting into. But yeah, if you get an ADR hit today, worth taking a short on, definitely, because it's extended already. Euro yen, not interested, just a mess at the moment. Sideways, mess. Interested in longs on it, but I'm not interested in long the euro, so I just can't trade this thing. Don't like it at all. It's just sideways, mess. Leave it. Euro New Zealand, I'm in short already. So looking basically for a continuation push to the downside. We just come out of an extension on the 4 hour. Got that entry on there. So yeah, I like this short still until, as I say, same as Euro odd we looked at, until it's announced that we're going to do anything special on the euro. We should see just continuations in current trend. Long-term trend, we are very messy and sort of in kind of symmetrical triangle at the moment, but it's such a sort of large area to trade in. It could go either way, and as long as it's moving nicely, you know, as it is, it's just very, very spiky, very price action driven, good market structure. As long as it's doing that, you'll get multiple outs on it. So it's just a case of waiting for one or the other to power up or weaken significantly so that the other one can take advantage and put an ADR move in. But at the moment, you know, like a lot of these, we're chopping. We get these big days up, we're just waiting for one of those. You know, we just need an ADR move on it. It's just not going anywhere at the minute. We are just taking out some areas of liquidity. Obviously, we've just swept that high, and we've just taken out this area here, which is a previous support. Smashed it, turned into resistance. So we just tapped straight into that resistance again. So we've got this level here next, which is up there. So potentially, if this euro is going to continue to push, there is that sort of move. So all of these euros that we're looking at, you know, they're all shorts at the moment. They're all showing signs of being bullish, but very weakly at the moment, because it's all speculation. So until we get some confirmation from Lagarde as to, yes, we are thinking this is the year, the month, we're going to put the interest rates up to 1%. When she says it, it comes out of her mouth, then yeah, okay, we'll start paying attention. But at the moment, there's you know, it's like anything. When you're planning, stuff is said, and there's lots of plans on the table, and that's a plan that everybody's focused on because it's what the market wants. They want interest rates to increase to get on top of inflation. You know, so you're always going to focus on the positives and what you want. So, but that's a really nice bounce there. So we'll see if we can get that continuation move. We'll extended. If we do get extended again on this one, you'll be able to get in. Very nice entry. Right, Euro US short. It's again massive short. Still a massive short until we hear otherwise. So any kind of pullbacks up to the 24, any RSI extensions on the hourly or 4 hourly, looking for short opportunities. At the moment, we're sort of flip-flopping around. No opportunities to get in. So yeah, waiting. I've got some good resistance potentially coming up at 150 ADR. So again, if we can get a push up into that propulsion gap there, I'd be interested in shorts. But right now we're stuck in the middle of a 5-day. I ain't going anywhere, so I'm not doing anything. Pounds, same as the euros at the minute, weak shorts. So looking for short opportunities on all the pound pairs, struggling to get into the pounds, to be honest. They are not happy at all. Pound odd, we got a reversal on Friday as we took out these lows, turned around at resistance. I can't remember if this is one that I said about, you know, what I was saying from a levels perspective, we're likely to pull back into most recent resistance. It's exactly what we've done. We haven't broken those lows yet though, so that's a really nice level of liquidity there. See the speed, we came down here and then we started that move. There's a lot of longs with liquidity there. They all got taken out. So it would make sense really to put in a nice W and go. We've had the retest. We haven't broken that low yet. So there is still hope for it, but look how weak it is. Yeah, you've got the reversal alert and the retest is so low, almost invalidated. So it's really, really, really weak. So I'm interested in shorting up there on this one at the moment, pound odd. So not looking anything there. Pound CAD, same thing. I'm looking for short opportunities. Can't get into it. You know, it moves down. You know, for the last week, there's just been no way of getting in. It's just dropping and dropping and dropping. Breakout traders will be having fun, but you know, not really interesting for me at the moment until we get some kind of pullback on this. Pound Swiss is pulling back on the Swiss franc weakness. So again, we just pulled back into the support rectangle at the moment. Didn't get that reversal alert. We've got these highs here. So this is a good looking one for a short opportunity. So we've got those highs somewhere around there. So tap straight into that at ADR. So again, ADR short pound Swiss. It could well get up higher, coming up to here. So the next level of resistance is here, somewhere around there. 225 ADR. That is where I'm interested. Very interested. Pound Swiss short, but at the moment, yes, you could take it from here. You know, with all these pounds, with the euros and the pounds, they're so weak at the moment. You know, I keep saying it's difficult to get into them. For me, it's difficult to get in because I want to see, ideally, a 4-hour RSI extension. They're just so weak that you're not getting the extensions. You know, they're few and far between. On the hourlies, they are more common. You're going to get more RSI extensions on the hourlies. But even so, you know, you're just about getting there. You're not getting massively extended. You're getting a little bit extended. Those opportunities are all there. We're not extended yet. If we get extended, then yes, it's probably a good looking short. We've got some nice propulsion gaps to target though on the other side of the coin, so it could well push all the way up to there. You know, but I'm very unlikely the pound's going to get anywhere near up there. But yeah, so just trying to find opportunities to get in. That's not a good enough opportunity for me to get in short. Personally, if you like it, take it. It is a nice rejection, and it's nearly 125 ADR. So yeah, good looking short opportunity. I'd rather get in up there and look for it to come back down. You know, look for the 24 hit and then that next leg to start. So if the Swissy continues to weaken for the next day, Thursday, we could well have that movement coming. December, shooting star on the DAX. Yeah, nice reversal on DAX. Well spotted. It's good. And that's going to be, remember I said about the 50% move, yeah, on the daily. We've just done it. That's quite often what we get, that 50% retracement on the big days. Yeah, so that would be a really good entry short. So I'll have a go at that, 0.25%. We'll break that low, assume that's a turning point, peak formation high. So let's see. We'll see what happens on that one. So pound Swiss, good spot. Looking for short opportunities on that one when we get a little bit more of a push. You could get in now, as I say, there's every opportunity. This thing is just had its little movement today, and then the Swiss franc's just going to stop. Pound will continue to be weak, and we'll get the drop from there. May not. If not, just be prepared to scale in up to there. Pound yen, no idea. Not interested at all. No idea. It's a mess. It's just a total mess. There's no range low that's holding nicely. The top's just coming down unevenly, and now even worse. It's just just don't know what to do with it. It's a sideways mess. Let's just leave it. Pound New Zealand, again, very messy pair at the moment. Used to be my very favorite pair. This used to have a lovely ADR over 300. We're just not getting it at the moment. So at the minute, I'm looking for short opportunities. Again, I want to get some extensions to the upside to start getting into some shorts. We're not there yet. The hourlies, it's this thing. If you got into a short on this week before last on this extension, either here, and you would have got in, scaled into a second position there. You've got a profit out of it, but if you're holding it, it's just not going anywhere. It's just a sideways mess at the minute. So I'm looking for short opportunities, but that was the entry there. Could have got in on Friday last week, but right now just sitting on your hands waiting for some kind of push. So any kind of pullback up into the 24 or 72 area, ideally. Looking for a short opportunity out there. Pound US dollar, same thing. Looking for shorts, continuation shorts on this one. Same as the euro US dollar. Do not want to be long in it at the moment. It's going to take a lot for the pound to become stronger than the US dollar. It's going to take the US dollar to have some really bad fundamental news. You off, Sammy? Catch you later. Good luck getting out of your Aussie New Zealand. So yeah, difficult one. Waiting to see what happens with the US dollar on non-farm payroll. See if they get any direction. If we just get another spike on non-farm payroll, it does that, and then it comes back and it's where it was. Still none the wiser. If we get some break and hold movement off of non-farm payroll in either direction, that will give us a clue as to where we should be going with the US dollar moving forward, long or short. But at the moment, don't know. So at the moment, playing it as we know the pound is weak. And if the US dollar is neutral, we still want to be short. So looking for short opportunities on it. Again, no RSI extensions in sight. If we get an ADR hit to the upside, that's probably worth a shot. But we're just waiting for those moves. You have to sit there for 3 or 4 days, like we've been doing on things like the Aussie New Zealand and stuff. Get into it. We sit there for a few days. We're just waiting for that to happen. We know it's coming. You can't time the market. You have to wait for the market to move for you. You just have to be in the position ready. So nothing going. That DAX has just taken off. Just going to put a little bit of extra risk on it if it triggers. So that's your pound US dollar. Your New Zealand's shorts at the moment on the New Zealand dollar CAD based on Canadian dollar strength, which we are not getting a lot of, which is why we've had this bit of a upward movement. But we had a bit of price discovery to the upside, which was rejected, and now we are back on our way down again. So that was your entry short. Not really interested in any shorts on this one at the moment where it is. Want it to be higher, need it to push up. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, and then we had a little bit of a drop. Just how long are you going to sit sideways in these things at the moment? The Canadian dollar's just not got the legs because it's had weakness with the oil. That should change if oil can continue to push and we can continue to get these legs going in on oil. We should see the Canadian dollar strengthen. So looking for short opportunities on that at the moment, but not right now. Again, RSI extensions to the upside is what we're looking for. And we haven't got anything at the moment, so sideways. New Zealand dollar Swiss, same sort of thing. Swiss franc obviously massively weak at the moment. This is a good spot to get in on this, really. You know, look at how far since we had the rate announcement and the drop, we're in that everlasting flag, aren't we? We have put in new lows and we've put in another new low. So market structure, since we got the reversal alert, we've had a lovely lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, double top, lower low, lower high. So anywhere around here right now should be exactly where we're looking to get in. If that doesn't work, you've got roughly an ADR and a half upside potential before we should start to get some movement to the downside. You know, as I said, we could do that now. We could sit and move around up here for 24 hours waiting for Thursday for the rate announcement. Not the rate announcement, for the CPI figures for the Swiss franc. Then we will get the movement to the downside potentially. So good looking short opportunity. As I said, I've got US dollar Swiss on short, so I've got my Swiss exposure on already. So I'm not going to get in that one myself, but any of these against the Swissy you can take short. Do you usually wait for the EA to take profits for you? Or do you manually take out profit? Manually. The EA does take profits for me. But the EA, as I say, is there for me. The EA is there to manage my positions, get me into the positions. I will get out automatically if something hits 1%. I think I've got it set to 1%. So if it gets 1% in profit, I'll just close it out and put it over there. But I will manually close out the positions myself, depending on what's going on. You know, this is part of your, you know, the you as a trader bit. Every EAs are brilliant, you know, but like anything, you know, you don't let Windows run your business. You run your business using Windows. You don't let the EA run your business. The EA is there to help you run your business. Your business is to come in and analyze what's going on. See this pushing up here, thinking, yeah, that's a good looking short opportunity to get into a position. Set your TP down there. If it hits it, fantastic. If it doesn't, let the EA manage the position to get you into an area where you can get out. But I don't know where it's going. Yeah, you know, the EA doesn't know. You know, this is the news trading filters you get. People have asked me, can you put a news filter into the EA? My question is always, why do you want to filter out volatility? That's how we make our money. All these EAs out there that have got a bonus feature of a news filter. Hey, let's not trade when it's really volatile and we can make loads of money. You know, it doesn't make sense. The EA doesn't know that the Swiss franc CPI figures are coming out on Thursday morning. Yeah. Do I want it to get me out at 1% on Thursday morning if I'm scaled into 3 shorts against the Swissy and the news comes out that it's positive Swiss franc? No, because it's going to hit 300% ADR. So I'm going to move everything down to here, TP wise, and take that extra profit. I can teach the EA there's news coming up, but I can't teach the EA what type of news it is, what we're expecting it to be, and what impact it could possibly have. It just doesn't happen. So that's your job. New Zealand yen sideways mess. Not interested. Longs if it gives me an opportunity for a long, I'll take it. Otherwise, I'm not interested. Just sideways mess. You could look at highs. So somewhere up in that area, and somewhere down in that area. So that's what I'd like to do, is take a long down here, but you know, we're just doing that in a minute. Last short worked, short before that worked, and the one before that worked. Yeah, so the shorts are working, longs are working. You know, do what you like with it, but right now, no. New Zealand US shorts based on US dollar strength, but again, we still don't know what's happening with the US dollar. I'd be more inclined to say the US dollar is going to be stronger than the New Zealand dollar. So yeah, we want to be looking for short opportunities. Again, nothing out there at the minute. So I'm being super cautious at the moment because I've got 25% profit to protect. So, you know, if there are no RSI extensions, I'm just not interested at the minute. I'm not going to take any risky trades. So again, looking for pushes to the upside. There's a nice propulsion gap, which is just getting moved into on this New Zealand US. So we had this big, strong push down, an accumulation flag break to the downside. So again, anywhere in this propulsion gap, if we get an ADR hit today, could be a nice entry short on that one. You know, and this is why the ADR alert dashboard is there. Yeah, you don't take every ADR alert. You take ADR alerts in line with what you think the direction is going to be. At the moment, New Zealand dollar, US dollar, if we get ADR hits to the upside, I'll be happy to short it. If we get ADR hits to the downside, I'm not, because it's coming down. Yeah, so looking for that if it happens. US dollar CAD, I had a little alert in here up in this propulsion gap, which we haven't hit. We didn't get there. It got close, came straight into the propulsion gap basically, and came straight off of it. So I'm interested in shorts more than longs at the moment on the US dollar CAD, because I think the Canadian dollar has got the potential to put in stronger moves. I don't think the Canadian dollar is overall stronger than the US dollar, but I think it's got the ability to put in stronger down moves, and then we'll get, you know, it's like we'll get in these big strong moves and then these grinds back up, big strong moves, grinds back up. So I'm interested in shorts on it, but equally, you know, this is a sideways mover. This is like the Aussie New Zealand, the Euro Pound, the US CAD, strong trade partners. They tend to keep things fairly tight and moving sideways a lot of the time. So in theory, from a mean reversion perspective, you could take any long or any short, you get extended. There's an extension up there. It didn't quite get to where I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be in the propulsion gap. We just tapped it and then dropped, so I didn't quite get it. But again, I'm waiting for perfect setups at the moment. If you got into it last week, it's played out very nicely. Reverse alert yesterday, actually, wasn't it? On that liquidity run. But you're walking into some propulsion. A propulsion gap now, where all these accumulations here turned into longs. So you're likely to see some limit orders sitting down here looking to push price back up again. So yeah, US dollar CAD unknown. Take it either way, really. You know, it all depends on your exposure. For me, it's just not got to the right spots yet. US dollar Swiss, I'm short. It's coming down nicely at the moment now, this US dollar Swiss. Aussie Swiss is still pushing. Swiss yen's pulling back a little bit. Euro Swiss is pulling back. Pound Swiss is pulling back. So they're all pulling back off of ADR. US dollar Swiss didn't get there. So I'm short this one already. Have been short since we pulled back up into the 72 basically. And obviously then we came up and tested this area and we've just hovered. So, you know, I'm stuck in this accumulation at the minute. We took out the highs on Friday and we've just taken out last week's high this morning. So potentially this could be the start of the move coming through at the moment. We're dropping, coming into this propulsion gap, which we've already tested once. Let's have a look at where we stopped this morning. So yeah, it's not particularly, you know, there's no real reason to stop there. If it was spot on with that, then yeah, I'd be like, right, that's a really good entry, but just an entry. We could push up higher today, but like it as a short. There's no massive strength in the US dollar at the moment. We are expecting the Swiss franc, you know, to continue. We're putting in new lower lows all the time. We're putting in new lower highs all the time. Somewhere around here, we're going to get a lower high and potentially move down for the next leg, depending on the 4 hour. So yeah, looks good in shorts already. And US dollar yen. I've got a short on this on my Forex funds account, just purely because it got extended. We got the ADR hit to the upside. It was extended on the 4 hour. So I just really liked this when I saw it. It's one of those, I just flicking through and I saw this hit ADR yesterday morning and I was like, right, yeah, we'll have a go at that with a decent position, and I've got a stop on it. So it will either come down back into yesterday's low, which is the previous day's high, or it won't. And if it comes down to there, that's where my TP is, which is 0.5%. Which it looks like it's about to do. We're just about to get the reversal out on the 1 hour, 9:15. 45 minutes to go yet though, so hasn't got there yet. But yeah, just like this is a short, this was an ADR hit yesterday, so this is an ADR short, and I'll be playing it down to there. But from a longer term perspective, I'd rather be long on it from a longer term perspective based on yen weakness. That's it. That's everything. Gone through the lot. There's no real opportunities out there at the minute. As I say, I'm looking for any kind of extension on the hourlies or the 4 hourlies, and there isn't any. ADR hits we've had are all Swiss franc based, and I like the Swiss franc long. So these are all entries. Short today. Like them all. But as I say, I've got the US dollar Swiss. If I only had 1, maybe 2 positions on this, I would probably get into another Swissy. But I'm not going to overexpose myself coming to major Swiss franc news this week. Yeah. So if this wasn't here, I would probably take another Swissy. I'm just not going to double expose myself on the Swiss franc in case this comes out as bad and the Swissy goes the wrong way. So that's the only reason I'm not taking any of these ADRs today. Other than that, these all look like lovely ADRs today. We might get further extensions on them as well. If we get more extensions on them, even better for me, because the more they push the Swiss franc, the stronger that snapback's going to be on Thursday if that positive news comes out. So we'll get some really good moves on those Swissies. Anybody got any questions on anything? Lovely 3-bar reversal. Well, sort of. Looking at the half hour. Don't look at the half hour chart ever. But looking good. What's DAX doing? Still pushing. Tricky DAX today. So next stop on the DAX is here. $125 ADR. That's a long way. So 125 ADR on the DAX today. I shall be in that definitely. US dollar yen's going nicely. So I'm down to 0.19 on this account now. I should do that US dollar yen. I'm going to let it run for a little bit longer. Everything's going the right way at the moment. This morning, Swiss yen had a got me at a break even. Look, that's make my TP. So as long as this yen continues to push today, and we get that pound New Zealand continuing to push, I could be out and target hit on this within the next hour or so. As I say, all I need that to get up to is 1%, and yeah, I'm done. Phase complete, and then on to phase 2. So we'll see. Continuation strength on the yen, and obviously the DAX. If the DAX can turn around, that would be very helpful. I should be taking a second on the DAX. That's close, actually. Just going to see what the distancing is on, the spacing is on the DAX. My BPS at the moment is really slow. Whoa, what the hell's all this? Oh, there we go. I just want to see what the spacing I've got on the DAX is. 64. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to get into a second position on that reversal alert there, which is 120. So next M5 reversal alert, I'm getting into a second position short on the DAX. If we can get that kind of movement on the DAX this morning back down to here during the London session, and we can get continuation on the yen, that should be done. We'll see. Nearly there. Let's Cow. I don't know how to pronounce your first name. Don't want to call you Cow, but that might be your name. Forex Machinist sounds better. Let's say I manually take out a trade that was placed by the EA. Would the EA still take the trades after I manually get out of it? If I don't stop it. Yeah, so basically if you close a trade that the EA has taken, it will try and add that position back on for you. Yeah, so you can see obviously with the EA, it logs the last sell price here. Yeah, which is for me that one there. So let's say that's a bad example. Let's look at the pound New Zealand version. So the last sell is there, which is that one. Yeah, if I close that manually, yeah, this will change to that one. So it will move, if it moves up by 41 pips above that one, it will put this position back on again. Yeah. It's like qua. Okay. I'm never going to remember that. Why don't you spell it like that then? I always have this problem with foreign names. You know, in England, everything is spelt we're very simple with everything. We spell stuff like it looks and like it sounds. Everywhere else in the world does it completely differently, and it bamboozles all English people, I think. Qua. See, my brain can't get its head around that. That's not spelt that way. But yeah, to answer the question, yes. If you close that out, that will change to that, and then as it pushes up, it'll get in again. Which is why on oil, for example, you know, in oil we've been milking oil because all I've been doing on oil is continuously, can't really see it much on this chart. So, you know, as you see, there's a buy there. There's a buy there. There's loads of taken. But yeah, so that one there pushed up. I took it off. It pushed back down. The EA got me in again. I took it off. If it pushes back down, the EA will get me in again. So, you know, and this is why, as I say, this is how I use the EA. The EA's job, there's two things are going to happen. I'm going to take a trade long. It's either going to work and I'm going to get out. Thank you very much. Or it's not going to work and I'm going to turn it into a position. So the EA's job is to build my position for me. The EA's job is nothing more than building my position or getting me into my initial entry based on my entry conditions, i.e. I need an H1 or an H4 extension on RSI and a reversal alert. Get me in when those conditions happen, please. And then after that, if it works, I'll close it. Don't worry about it. If it doesn't, get me in to a position and build me along. And then I will manage my long. That's the EA's job. Everybody wants to use the EA to set, you know, to set these filters in a way that works across every instrument and will just make you money. That is just not how EAs work. They just, you know, market conditions change. The EA's job, as far as I'm concerned, is to get me into initial positions on set criteria, which is exactly what this is doing. You know, this has got a set criteria. It's initial entry has got to be an RH1 extension. Sorry, no, an RSI extension on the time frame that I've got it on. So it's got to get extended before it get me into the first position, and then after that, I will look after it. Just about hit TP on one of those pound New Zealands. Might extend that. That's a big old drop, isn't it? See, I don't like that level where I had that set. It's not a, that's a broker candle. So if this is going to continue to drop, I'm going to hold it. And then I'll keep a close eye on this. I'm in profit now, so 1% away from getting it done. I'm going to put some Euro New Zealand in the bank at some point as well. New Zealand dollar Swiss ADR. Still pushing New Zealand dollar Swiss. Aussie dollar Swiss will still be pushing. Going to test 125. Euro Swiss is coming down. US Swiss is coming down. So we've got a strong Aussie and a strong New Zealand this morning. Both of them strong. That's what's pushing these, driving these two, the Aussie and the New Zealand. Got money coming in. Hence, we've got yen strength as well. A little bit. Not as much. This is the problem with the yen. We're just not getting that yen strength, are we? But it will be stronger, stronger with the Aussies pushing. But really weak US dollar today would be absolutely lovely. I'm going to keep a close eye on this US dollar yen. I don't want this to pull back. It's just taken out the liquidity under London's low yesterday. So I'm just going to watch this. What I'm going to do is actually just protect that, just in case. I don't want to go into drawdown on this, but equally, this is the final push. So I might close some of this out manually in a minute and just bank it. And then I can concentrate on just working the Swiss yen then. We'll see. DAX is starting to stall. Haven't taken out that low. When that low goes, that's a good entry short. I'm going to put that on actually. If we can take this low and get through that propulsion gap, got a good chance of a drop from here. Oh, it's all a bit close, isn't it? Got to go home. Okay. Catch you later, Qua. I got it, let's see. Remind me that tomorrow, I won't remember. Right, that's it for today. Anything else you need, let me know. I will be in the Telegram group, as usual. But not looking to get into anything new at the minute. I've got oil on, which is fine. US dollar Swiss and Euro New Zealand I still like. There's nothing else catching my eye at the moment. But as I say, these Swiss francs, if you want to take these Swiss francs short, they're good looking shorts today. And as I say, I think in Thursday, we've got a very good chance of Swissy powering up. So all these moves in the opposite direction, they are absolute textbook broker behavior, or broker market behavior, coming up to take liquidity pools ahead of a reversal move. And Thursday is the catalyst for the reversal on the Swiss franc. So manipulation of the Swiss franc ahead of Swiss franc news is totally normal. Entice everybody in long liquidity and take it on Thursday. So all look good, but don't expect that to happen ahead of Thursday. You know, that sort of move, maybe that. But I wouldn't expect a complete catastrophic reversal on these until the news comes out on Thursday morning. All right. So for this afternoon, we've got consumer confidence and jolts 30 minutes after New York opens. So be prepared for some volatility after the New York open. And apart from that, not a lot else really until, as I say, we've got non-farm employment change tomorrow, but Thursday morning is the main news of the week ahead of non-farm payroll, obviously. So, but be aware of those this afternoon. We might get some volatility. And I will let you know when I'm going off this week. So I'm going to have one more day off this week, and then that's it. Holidays are all done till Christmas, which isn't far away, unfortunately. Right, okay, guys, have a good one. I'll be in the Telegram group if you need me. If you want to put any charts in there for analysis or anything, feel free to do so. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 7:50. I'll update you on anything that I close out today. And obviously, if there's anything new I take, I don't think I'm going to, but if I do, I'll post that in the Telegram group too. Have a good day, and I will see you hopefully tomorrow.